In no way, shape, or form am I condoning you to drop out of college. This is just my story and my reason why I left college and why it led to my success. I discovered my passion for entrepreneurship and business at a very early age, at around 15 years of age. My parents were both immigrants who struggled to make ends meet for me and my brother growing up. My dad was a car flipper at the time before the Craigslist internet era, and he actually did really well at first. But by the time the internet rolled around, he was blown out of proportion and just completely stopped. And I was around the age of 5 or 6. My mother, on the other hand, worked a lot of laborious jobs to make ends meet for me and my brother. She did everything she could to put us in private school. Keep in mind, private school was not cheap at all, and coming from a struggling family, this was a big deal for us. My mother legit sacrificed her life for my brother and I to be better. Because of that, I will always have a gratitude and love my mother. Now, around junior year of high school was when I discovered e-commerce. E-com was at an early stage. This was in the 2016-2018 era where the OG e-commerce were around. The way you promote products at this time was you would DM people on Instagram that has theme pages to promote your products. And the only advertisement that you can really pay for was Facebook ads. There wasn't TikTok Shop, TikTok ads, or anything yet. It actually didn't really take off until the pandemic era hit. Everyone started to know what e-commerce was. Now, I started 3 online businesses at the time, and damn, did it fail tremendously. See, my problem was I had a really good knack for picking products, really winning products. But when it came to marketing and running ads, I was always scared of failure. The reason I had this mindset was I was working at a restaurant job, so all my hard-earned cash that I have, putting it into ads for ads to fail is very daunting and scary. So yes, I was afraid to lose money dropshipping at first, and that mindset actually hindered me. And thereon, I actually failed a lot more times before I hit my success. Now, high school for me was wrapping up, and my 4th e-com business broke even. It was only about $200, $300 break even, but at that time, that was a really big deal for me, and I actually stuck with it for the remainder of the month. Then I net profit $800 in the next 2 weeks from keeping with that business. I know you're probably wondering what product that was. During the time, jewel pods were a big thing. Everyone was hitting the jewel. You're cool if you're hitting the jewel or whatever. So I actually sold jewel stickers, which would basically wrap around the jewel pod stick and made it look a little bit more aesthetic. I don't know what we were thinking at the time, but they were really ugly, in my opinion now. Despite being late to the trend, I actually made the profit. And that was my real first success in e-com. I had a few scholarships in high school, and FAFSA helped me pay for my college. So my mind was still set on going to college since it was paid for. I attended University of Arizona and majored in business. I quickly realized college was not for me. In class, I was always sitting there wondering why they never taught anything about the struggle of owning a business or starting a business. It was always more about how to work for someone else's business. And why the fuck was my professor teaching about business when he never even opened a business? Then I came to the conclusion they weren't really fully teaching you how to run your own business, but how to operate one for someone else. In the back of my head, I always thought, I've already done e-commerce a little bit already. I failed and I learned so much quicker than sitting in this class and learning nothing, in my opinion. I'm such a hands-on person. Why not just get my hands dirty, fail, lose that money, struggle for a little bit, and actually make it successful and have all that experience and knowledge? I know myself really well, so I had to sit and think. I know I learned things out in the real world, picking it up, failing, and doing better. So within 3 months, not even finishing the semester, I submitted a withdrawal paper and left college. As a matter of fact, all that scholarship leftover money that I had in college was mailed to me in a check, and it was about $2,400 at the time, which was good enough for me to take e-commerce to the next level and just try my hardest in whatever business that I ventured into. $2,400 at the time was a good amount of money for me, where it gave me a confidence boost. Fast forward, I didn't make any crazy money for that full year until May 2020 was when my life changed. During the peak pandemic era, everyone was rushing to buy hand sanitizer, gallons, bottles to create these hand sanitizer. It was a big thing at the moment. Well, I quickly caught on to this trend, and obviously if they're buying all these bottles, what do they need? A cap, a dispenser cap. So I went and bought a bulk shipment of caps. This is actually what the actual product looks like. They basically look like ketchup pumps. Little did I know this would be my main breakthrough. In May, when I listed that listing on eBay, within 3 to 4 months, orders were coming in nonstop, day in and day out. I was packaging and shipping like never ever in my life before. One of these pumps cost me 44 cents, but I was marking it up to around $3.70 per piece. And keep in mind, I was not selling just one pump. I was selling hundreds to thousands of them. This was the first time in my entire life I've seen this amount of money move in like that into my bank account. Long shipping cost was out of the roof. The amount of shipping that I was spending was crazy, up in the hundreds to thousands of dollars. In a matter of 3 to 4 months, I've accumulated close to $100,000 from these products alone. But like everything else, eventually the trend will die out. And people started to catch on what I was selling, and people started to sell it too, so it drove my price down a lot. I sat on this money for a year, and for the most part, I was very frugal with it. I took some of that money and I invested it into Dogecoin at the time. It was around 2020. I bought Doge before it even hit a cent. And in the peak of 2020 or 2021, Dogecoin hit close to 75 cents at an all-time high. But I sold around 60 cents. Now, let's just say I made a lot of money during that Dogecoin run. That Doge crypto pump was originally what got me into what I do day in and day out now, which is day trade. But I only trade stocks and futures now, nothing with crypto anymore. I have crypto, but leveraged into it for a long term. And believe me when I say this, it was not at all easy. And I lost majority of the Doge profit I made trying to learn how the stock market works. But that loss was well worth it for me because I stuck to it for years, grinding, failing, losing money, and learning the psychology of the stock market. And it wasn't until March 2022 when all of my training, patience, losing money, finally paid off, and now I was finally profitable and have a firm understanding of how the market works. That's literally 2 years of failing and persisting to make it into a career. When I was learning stock market on my own, that wasn't just the only thing I was doing. I also had a backup plan where I moved to California in 2021 and I used whatever left of that money I had and invested into a warehouse business where I actually stored stuff for people. A bunch of ships were stuck at sea and people needed to have places to store things. I actually made a business out of that. Those were some hard times that actually built me as a man. And I'm not even joking. I lived in my office and I was showering at Planet Fitness. It wasn't even a nice Planet Fitness. It was the bottom of the barrel Planet Fitness with all the memes where all the weird people would go in and do some crazy workout. Those are some of the hardest time of my life, but it made me become more of a resilient and better businessman. I learned all of the warehouse business, all of the ins and the outs of the warehouse business. And to this day, that is my main biggest income alongside trading. Now in the year 2022, when I finally grasped trading, I actually turned my trading account profitable and made $250,000 in a matter of 3 months. And well, I got carried away and went vacationing a lot. I had fun, blew my money, enjoyed traveling, and what can I say? It was all too fun. This was the first time I fully traveled Vietnam, Vancouver, Canada, ate sushi in Japan, traveled domestically in the USA, and did a whole road trip alongside the coast of California. And all thanks to trading, it gave me the freedom and leverage to be able to enjoy what I like doing in this life. Despite all the fun I was having, I knew it was time to come back and focus and get better at my craft even more. And for the past few years, that's what I've been doing. Now I'm 23 years old and I can confidently say my warehouse business is doing well, and I am adding another warehouse business in a different state very soon. Alongside my trading has accumulated me to millionaire status in 2024. Would I trade going back to college for any of this? Never, never in a million years. I'm glad I took this route, very untraditional, and everyone was calling me stupid and delusional for leaving college, especially getting college paid for. Now my next adventure and dream of mine is to inspire people and walk you guys through how to get over your fears of starting a business and sticking to something to become successful at it. There's always a fear, whether it be in trading or in business. Using fear to your advantage is a very beautiful thing. I use my fear to become a better trader, and you can as well. If you're interested in joining our community, the Discord link is down in the description below. In this link, you can watch me trade live every single day and talk to you guys about the psychology of trading. In that community of ours, you have me alongside 2 seasonal coaches that has 2 decades of trading experience. We'll literally guide you and hold your hands so that you can understand how trading works. With all of that, it comes to a cost of $39.99 a month, which is only $1.33 a day. For all the value that you can get, I can guarantee you there's nothing better out there. So if you'd like to join our community and join like-minded members to help inspire you, talk to you, bounce off each other, this is your chance to do that. I can't promise you success, but I can promise you one thing. The blueprints that we have there is what took all of us to become successful. It's whether you apply yourself or how much work you put into it. And last but not least, no matter where you are in life, have hope and faith that you will succeed through your hard time. As long as you put dedication and hard work to it, you can achieve anything. Subscribe for more content I'm going to be posting weekly.